What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. It's right down there and it's free. As you know, that enables us to keep coming to you guys with as many interviews as possible, with as many icons of the game as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share it, talk about it, be about it. Each one, teach one. And we appreciate your guys' support on getting us this far. Now, today we have the honor and privilege of being joined by somebody I've been following for decades in the game. He's put in a lot of incredible work over the years. So I'm very honored and grateful that we have Mr. Shorty B in the house. Thank you for coming through, sir.
Man, thank you. God bless. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we got to send a shout out to Chad Kaiser for connecting us. So thank you, Chad.
Most definitely, man. That's my right-hand guy right there. He keeps me at the forefront. Yeah.
Yes. So Shorty B, one thing I've always been intrigued. I'm born and raised in Maryland, and I'd always heard that you were from D.C. or from the area as well. So where are you from exactly?
Well, I'm from Palmer Park, Maryland, actually. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard territory there. I went to school with him and whatnot. Landover, Maryland, basically is where I'm from. I was born in Northwest Washington, D.C., but I moved to, by the time I was 8, I moved to Palmer Park.
Okay. Yeah, my mom was born in D.C. and then grew up in Tacoma Park. So right there.
Right. My dad used to live in Tacoma Park right off New York Avenue.
Yep. So there it is. Yeah, I was all in those areas growing up myself. So, yep.
Got a lot in common,
Yeah. And then I also had read way back in the day, too, you had done stuff with Go-Go. So what, is that true as well?
Yeah. Well, actually, I started off in Go-Go. Me and my homeboy Juju, who's actually the drummer for EU.
Oh, wow.
On doing the button stuff. We started our first, I guess it wasn't Go-Go then yet, but we started our first band in DC called a group called Heavy Connection. And as we grew older, we kind of separated it, but we both kind of made a name for ourselves in the music game.
Okay. And, you know, one thing that always struck me being from Maryland and then seeing how music is perceived around the country, like for us, and obviously you being a musician, it wasn't anything for us growing up or coming of age to know Black artists with instruments. Like that was just what we saw. But around
because you know, our day music, you had to touch it with your fingers, you know, your feet or your hands, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, music had to be made. But now, you know, nowadays, you know, you can almost just touch the drum machine and it'll make the record for you.
Yes. But I say that to say it was always weird, I guess in the 80s and 90s when there was this movement of people saying Black people didn't play instruments. I'm like, man, where I grew up, that's all people did was play instruments.
Right. And especially, not where, you know, where we from, everything was live. You know, everybody had somebody that was in a band or you knew somebody that was in a band. There was always a band just right next door. Somebody, no matter where you lived out in this area, somebody was playing live.
Yeah. So that being said, of course, a lot of people still sing and go talk and all this stuff. But what made you gravitate more to the musicianship side as opposed to vocalist?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Actually, man, when I was coming up, I guess about 15, I started going to Fairmont Heights High School in Fairmont Heights. But being that I went to Fairmont Heights, I met this family, the Wellman family, which is, you know, the Wellmans, like the first drummer the daddy was the first drummer with Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers. Then his son ended up being a drummer, Ricky Wellman, who ended up playing with Miles Davis. And it's so many Wellmans. Ghost Wellman, who's a left-handed drummer, who's actually phenomenal. Then you got Kego, Bootleg. You know, you got the Vincent Colemans, which are actually their cousin. So they were like they were really the big part of like DC's percussion. You know what I'm saying? And then that actually, you know, their dad and stuff, you know, helped starting the go-go beat, you know, with the drums. I think it started with the Wellman family, the drums, actually.
Wow, that's crazy. And then you were getting some of this firsthand, seeing it coming up, huh?
Yeah, because, you know, they had a garage over there at Fairmont Heights. So every day after school, all of us would just meet up in the garage. We had live instruments, drums, and we would jam every day. And Mr. and Mr. Wellman, they was always cool with it. So we just, it gave us it gave us a chance to really spread our wings as a youngster. We really had a good chance of diving into music, because I understand that, that kind of environment that had to help, you know what I'm saying, who we become. At such a young age, just being able to play and bang out, and ain't nobody, calling the police or none of it. It was none of that. It was that everybody was always coming over there, sitting around the garage, listening to everybody jam. And, it was all, like you said, it was all about musicians then.
Yeah. And then I found out about this later, but then how did you go from D.C. and Go-Go to getting with the Parliament Funkadelic?
Well, back to the Almost the Wellman family, their cousin, Vincent Coleman, used to work at the Capitol Center. Okay. Good friend of mine. I was about 15, 16. He said one day, man, the Funkadelics is at the Capitol Center tonight. If you want to go, you got to go to work with me and just hang out. And then after work, you know what I'm saying, we could just stay in there and you can see the Funkadelic. And that's what I did. So I'm sitting on the ramp at the bottom of the ramp where the bands and stuff come down. They drive the buses down and everything. I'm sitting on the ambulance case, and I look up, and Michael Hampton is coming down the ramp, and he has a left-handed strap. And a lot of, back then that was real uncommon. You know what I'm saying? Somebody put a left-handed neck on the right-handed, guitar. But he did, so he walked past me. I said, "Excuse me, man, is that a left-handed strap?" And Mike looked at me and said, "Yeah." And then he said, "You want to feel it?" Yeah. And then so he handed it to me. From that moment on, we've been very best of friends to this very moment and hour, to this day. And that was 1975.
Wow.
His first show at the Capitol Center with the Funkadelic. And I met him that night. We became friends, kept numbers. I ended up moving to California about a year later, met Mike in Long Beach, and it just took off. Then I met all the other guys. Eddie Hazelwood's become one of my best friends as well. You know what I'm saying? And he was my fishing buddy. Me and Eddie would just find reasons to fish anywhere at any time. That's the relationship we had. We would jam, every time we could get, that we was around some instrument, it would always go down. But Mike Hampton, I had a more intimate relationship, I guess, with Mike, because we were closer to age. Eddie's a little older than both of us. You know what I'm saying? But I had a great relationship with them. And it's funny, when I was 7 years old, I lived on Chapman Street, 1415 Chapman Street, Northwest, which is right across the street from Malcolm X Park. I had to have been about 7, 8 years old. So I used to hang at the park every day because it was just there, and I lived across the street from it. But one Saturday, I went up there, and it was a band playing. I looked at these guys. There was 5 of them. They had lime green suits on with processed hair and stuff. Guess who it was?
Who?
George Clinton, the Parliaments. It was George, Ray, Grady, Fuzzy, and I think was Ray Davis. 5 of them, and they were singing, "I just want to testify what your love had," and I never forgot that song. Never heard it before from that day, and I never forgot. And it's just how ironic that 10, 12 years later, George is damn near like my uncle, you know what I'm saying? And Eddie is like my big brother. And then here come Mike Hampton. He's like, my other brother. It was so ironic, man, how just seeing George and him that day is stuck in my brain for some reason. And then he ended up meeting them, and they all became family and still are over the years, man. It was crazy, man. That blew my mind.
Yeah. Now, are you left-handed then?
No, I'm right-handed. Yeah.
Oh, you just noticed that on them. Okay.
That Mike had a left-handed neck on his guitar. I like, something look different. I said, "What's that, a left-handed neck?" He said, "Yeah." "You want to see it?" I said, "Yeah." Let me play it. I couldn't believe it, man. It was nice. Yeah.
So then, being in LA, what made you then end up moving to Oakland?
Man. I might as well give it to you raw. When I was about 17, and these Jamaicans, man, had came to D.C. And you know what was going on when they showed up. So I got my hands on a little bit of that. And one day I'm in Palmer Park, 3604 Palmer Park Road, my Aunt Lena's house. And I'm downstairs in the basement and a commercial comes on, and it's Wilt Chamberlain playing volleyball with a bunch of girls. So I'm like, where in the hell can a man do this on a beach with a bunch of women like this? This is where I need to be right here. So I swear, and the commercial kept coming on. Within an hour, that commercial came on about 7 or 8 times. So I had some money and some stuff that I was sitting on for somebody. Let's just put it like that. And then, so that commercial came on one more time. So I say, California. I said, I'm going to California. Just like that, man, out of nowhere. I never been to California. Nothing. I said, I'm going to California. So I call a cab and took me to the bus station downtown. I think it was 9th Street or something, at the Greyhound bus station. I walked up to the counter, and this old white dude, must have been about 75, and was at the counter. He said, how can I help you? I said, I need a ticket to California. He said, what part? I said, anywhere. He said, how about Oakland? I said, cool. That's how I end up in Oakland.
That's not what I expected at all.
Yeah, I was just trying to actually get out the city because I knew I wasn't coming back, because I could see that go-go wasn't wetting my palate, because we could go 30, 40 miles outside the city. Nobody knew who we was or who the band was. That wasn't, that wasn't what I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm meeting guys like, Mike, I'm getting the bug now. So, what I'm saying? I really want something out of this music big now. It's just in my soul. So I knew that, and once I left Maryland that day, that I wasn't coming back.
Now I had the good fortune of being able to meet, talk to, hang out with Chuck Brown several times over the years.
Right.
And I've talked to Sugar Bear and a bunch of other people. But for your perspective, growing up there, playing the music, and then having such a long career, why do you think go-go wasn't able to really break out and be a sustained national thing?
I don't know, man. Go-go was too powerfully self-centered. You know what I'm saying? It would take over. It was just too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't hide go-go. And once it's there, it's either go-go or it ain't. You know what I'm saying? And, Bear's a very good friend of mine. He texted me about a week ago. And Tino, which used to play guitar with EU, was one of my best friends. You know what I'm saying? So we used to play together all the time. But it's just like once go-go, it's like once it was contaminated, I hate to use the word, but once go-go touched any other music, and then it became go-go, or it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And it was like I noticed that it was kind of hard for a lot of rappers to try to get on that was from DC, because that go-go had branded them to a certain degree that they couldn't hide it. They couldn't keep it out their music. They didn't know how to turn it off.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. They didn't know how to turn it off. And it would always, eventually, it was like a lot of people, it was, go-go, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I understand why go-go is what it is, because, it was a part of, the environment, and the people were just as big of a part as go-go music as the music was, with their little sayings and dances, and you know how go-go is. So I guess you had to grow up here to really appreciate it. And I guess nobody really knew how to appreciate go-go.
Yeah.
And, go-go, I mean, like doing the butt and all that was cool for a minute, but the people really didn't get it.
Right. Because I remember I went to Bowie State one time, and I'd seen Brand Nubian, Leaders of the New School, and Stinky Dink. And, when he had the One Track Mind song out, and I remember that was really his only song he had, but he was getting as good a response as Leaders of the New School and Brand Nubian, and they were obviously way bigger in every way than he was. But I was like, yeah. But then, at the Capitol Center, I seen many shows where Rare Essence was a headliner, over.
Right. Yeah, I've been many shows. I grew up in the Capitol Center. I cut my teeth in the Capitol Center. Yeah.
So then, when you get to Oakland, then how did you end up getting down with Shock G and Ant Banks and all those guys?
Well, at first I met Banks. I think before I met anybody, because me and Banks, we was doing MC Ant, Dangerous Dame, Pooh Man, and hooked up with a guy, older guy named Craig Bryant. He set up a meeting, but I had already met Too Short, and I had by the time I met Too Short, I already had a gold record for producing and rapping on Digital Underground. I did a song on Digital Underground, Sons of the Pete album, about the Funkadelic. If you listen to that song, Tales of the Funky, all the lyrics are titles and bandmates of the whole song. They're all titles of songs and bandmates, the whole song. Well, and I think that song, you know, God forbid, I think, like, you know, maybe people will really get it, you know, and just, I hate to say, like, in you know, George's demise, you know what I'm saying? Then they might pick up on it, you know what I'm saying? But I think that song went way over everybody's head, but it was very crafty. I wrote every word. I wrote Humpty Hump rap, my rap. I produced the song and everything. And it's I think that's I think people really get that song. You know what I'm saying? Like they just lost Calvin Simon the other day. I guess you heard about that from his old Funkadelic vocalist. And you know, it's like, you know, so we're losing all that funk. It's, you know, I might be one of the last ones that left for that second generation.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.